Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Recap, a Guy's Review. I hope everyone had a fantastic Valentine's Day last night. You drank too much champagne. You had too many chocolate-covered strawberries. You texted your ex. Who knows what went down? We're here for you. We're going to get into this recap. As you guys know, I take notes, read them back to you guys. No edits, no jump cuts. Me, you, maybe a couple jokes. Maybe not. We'll have to see. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals right down there for reels and some stand-up comedy, tour dates, and things like that. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Double check. Sometimes they accidentally unsubscribe you, so we appreciate everyone who's part of the Army. Let's get into it. We start on week 6 with a 2-on-1 date. Boy, this has been a 3-week tease. They've been talking about this forever. It's like, push her off the waterfall already. We're sick of waiting, you know what I mean? So we love the energy on the 2-on-1 date. Everyone talks like they're in a funeral. They're like, it's so happy to be here. I wish the best for us, and we miss Tony. You know what I mean? What a weird energy 2-on-1 dates are. Genevieve is like naturally defensive, even though she hasn't done anything wrong. She's like, why am I here? What's going on? Why? Get rid of her. Come on. Genevieve and Clayton make out on a patio furniture in the middle of a park. That they literally just took this furniture off of the Walmart outdoor furniture patio area, and they just threw it in the middle of a park. Shanae's playing Wordle or whatever you do when you're not with anybody. Anyone out there playing Wordle? I don't get into the hype. I'm not doing it. I don't have time for Wordle. It's just me and the content all day long. I'm your Wordle. All right. Shanae tells Clayton that Genevieve said she wanted to go home, calls her two-faced and a red flag. Listen, this is proper villain energy. PVE, we call it in the day. Proper villain energy. I mean, there's no footage of Genevieve doing any of this. It's just Shanae wildly, some might say psychopathically, throwing out lies just straight out of you know what I mean? It's impressive, really. I mean, it must burn a lot of calories. Shanae starts to cry. Look, if she's making this up, assign her to an agency. She's a good actor. If she's making this up. And again, like I said, I don't throw the word psychotic around often, but I think that's what would define this. I mean, void of the feeling of pain, just whatever she needs to say to get her point across, to win, and then just like cries on a dime. Maybe she's pulling up real tears. She's tired in certain things, but boy, the force is strong within Shanae. I genuinely feel bad for nice guy Clayton, right? They're on the bench. Clayton's in the middle. He doesn't know how to handle it. He's like, I don't know what to say. He's never been on a 2-on-1. We've never been on a 2-on-1 for the most part, right? You know, there was always Cabo, but that was a little different. Genevieve tells Shanae that she isn't engaging with this, and then Clayton gives Genevieve the rose. So Genevieve got the rose. Shanae ends up going home, and back at the home, everyone... so here's everyone celebrating, right? Everyone sees that the production assistant takes away Shanae's suitcase, and it looks like when the Munchkins rejoice when the witch is killed, right? They pop champagne. Marlena says, cheers to finally curing the herpes outbreak. And it's like, we'll see if Bachelor in Paradise reminds us that herpes has no cure. It'll be back, folks. It always is. That's you, Shanae. And I'm sure someone will get offended at the herpes reference. Valtrex, Shanae says, F that guy. She says she's blindsided. Shanae says, this is what you get for being true and vulnerable. Actually, I don't think that's the reason, Shanae. He had probably some of the most physical chemistry with Shanae. She ruined this by playing the villain. She could have just been nice and well-liked, and she probably would have made it farther. That's what made her a great villain, is that she didn't need to play the villain. She didn't need all the extra work that she did. She could have just been her. I think he was into her regardless of all the commotion in the house. She shot herself in the foot. Mara says there's no drama and no tension, just happy women. And then the producers are like, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Don't worry. It's just we're on a break, but there'll be more tension. Don't worry. And Mara's like, I'll provide that tension. Mara, come on. Who knows? Time for the next pre-rose ceremony cocktail party. Week 6 is when I start enjoying the show, by the way. It's not that I don't like the show before week 6, but you know what I mean. You riff-raff, random villain. Okay, now we're getting to the I'm starting to think about falling in love with you conversations. It's never I love you. It's always like I'm beginning the process of starting to evaluate the thought that I may be in love with you. And welcome to 2022, folks, where you just can't say your feelings. You need to preface them 88 times. That's the name of the game, folks. You don't want to spook anyone away. All right, so there they are, starting to enjoy the show. We got probably 8 contestants left. I can name 3 of them, right? We're getting there. Mara gives Clayton a bite of poutine, then is interrupted, then she cries. It's like, hey, I get the frustration. You don't want to get mad. You don't want to get mad. You get mad, you start looking like the bad person. So instead, she walks away, and then she starts to cry to someone else, and then she's starting to spiral out of control, ruminate. We're starting to see what happens on the show, which is several weeks of not having your phone, not having proper sleep, and not getting the attention you deserve, and you start to spiral out of control, and we would all go there. Rose ceremony, no rose for Hunter. She became the hunted, and Marlena. Hunter and Marlena, good to see you. Hunter seems adorable for not getting too much screen time. She's got all those cute TikToks. And, of course, Marlena seems like a very dimensional person. Gorgeous Olympic athlete. Look, would you guys want them on Bachelor in Paradise? Let me know. Marlena sounded so poetic. She goes, I'll find love when it's my time. And you will, Marlena. Clayton announced that they are leaving Canada and heading to Croatia. Everyone's like, yay, Croatia. We love South America. And he's like, don't worry about it. Teddy gets a one-on-one date. Let's jump over to Teddy. There's a one-on-one date. Pretty big deal considering she was the first impression rose. Listen, my thought with this one-on-one date was this could be a date where he doesn't give her a rose because they had the initial connection. They were all excited. Then he hasn't reconnected with her with that same sort of energy. If he doesn't feel like it's there, this would be the type of date she goes home. Teddy brings up her virginity. Says she's a sexual person and doesn't need to wait till marriage. I almost thought he wasn't going to give her the rose, but he does. He's like, though, I used to find that I liked you, but now I still like you. It's like, oh, you got us. You know, I personally don't see this relationship flourishing. I don't know. I've never really seen the pop that is there. But hey, who am I? I'm just some jabroni watching this on the TV like the rest of you guys. And by TV, I mean streaming it illegally through my mobile device. That's right. The group date is announced, which means Sarah will be getting her second one-on-one, and this is going to ruffle some feathers. Sarah gets the one-on-one. There she is. Mara starts to ruminate with self-doubt and jealousy, as you do when you realize you're not the one. Now we've got Croatian knights fighting. Nothing says perfect group date like ironclad battle gear. The battle turns into a fear factor date. Brains, eyeballs, virility. Serene puts down the fish eyeballs. She's chugging the virility. Boy, Serene has never looked so sexy here. Just chugging that group date virility. And do I have the photo up still? No, I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it. All right, y'all have to check out my Instagram. I made a nice photo of Serene. I'm going to post on my Instagram today. By the way, today we're going to be doing a 9 a.m. Pacific time Patreon live stream. I have some very big announcements to make on there. So if you want to be a part of that Work with Dave experience, you can listen to me make videos, make thumbnails. We do it all live, and you get to see what I'm working on as I make new content for you guys. So if you want to be a part of the Patreon, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. All right, so then for the third night test, they're doing these night tests, right? Croatian battles. They have to kneel down before Clayton and open up their heart. How's this for feminism? I don't even know is this feminism? A woman getting down on a knee proposing to Clayton? I guess so. I guess that's what it is. Hey, we have a new subscriber just joined. Look at that. I got the nice thing in there. It's Kalaya Tunstall. Hey, thanks for subscribing. We appreciate you. All right, so they have to get down on a knee and like speak in these like old night talk, and they're like, "We have seen strange lands together," and I'm like, "Yeah, Houston and Vancouver, real strange foreign lands." Mara says, "I cook, I clean, I'm good in bed. Come on, Clayton, use your head." This is like, does that take back feminism? I don't know. Is feminism getting down on a knee in ironclad leather chaps and professing your love, or is it saying you're good in bed and you're good at cooking? I think both are good. Just embrace it. I think that's what feminism is about. It's equality. And if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, listen, I digress. The point is, do what you want to do. Be happy. Clayton chooses Serene as his head knight. Of course, she ate all the virility eyeballs. If you ate all those virility eyeballs for me, I'm going to give you the rose just out of sheer guilt. Clayton has, you need a Tums just to get down the acidity of the virility fish eyeballs. I think, Imagine after the group date, and you're like, "How was your date?" And you're like, "I'm full from eating pig brain." Clayton has a big convo with Rachel and asks if he feels like she is on the same trajectory. Rachel's on the right here. Trajectory with him. She replies, "You truly don't understand how I feel. I am falling so hard for you. I'm falling for you so hard. And he's like, I'm also so hard when I hear that. Then they make out hard. Rachel does the hands on his head grip, like she grips him she does the, you know what I mean? And look, she's into him. This couple is a force to be reckoned with on the right. Then they make out, blah, blah. Clayton needs that confirmation. Rachel gives it. She gave that confirmation. She's like, yeah, I'm starting to get to the place where I think I might want to get with you. And he's like, well, I'm starting to get to the place where I think I might want to get with you. And they're like, well, together we could start to get thinking of the place that we want to go together, possibly one day together. And then they're like, well, we got the confirmation. And then the sound guy's like, what am I even doing here? I have a degree. I should be making Oscar-worthy films. And it's like, no, you got into smut reality, and there's no way out. All right, Mara sort of calls out Clayton. She says, hey, you're looking for a wife, but then the ones you date don't reflect that. And then he's like, what do you mean? Who am I dating that doesn't reflect that? Of course, he's going to get defensive because A, she's calling out his what he's doing, and B, he's like, name names. Let's go. If you want to accuse people, let me know. So Mara is essentially calling Clayton out for giving a second one-on-one to the youngest in the house, Sarah. Clayton asks Mara, what specifically about these women do you know aren't here for marriage? Like, what could it be that makes you any more righteous than they are, you gemstone? Obviously, Mara is in a desperate place for saying that some women have said they aren't ready for marriage. Mara says she's bringing it 100 today. Whenever anyone says they're bringing it 100, it's like, no, come at it 92, okay? No one wants a full 100, okay? 70, not enough. 92, good. Save a little 8 for yourself. We all know that this never bodes well for the whistleblower energy that Mara is bringing. Mara says there's no malice in her words. They come from a place of caring. Yeah, caring about getting a one-on-one date. There's no selflessness on the show. Everyone's got a motive. Clayton, this is why, what if they had voted people off and then the voted off people like in Survivor still get to give him advice? Because then they have no ulterior motive. But then they might gang up on people. Who knows? Bad idea. Clayton got a note, meet me at the clock tower. He's like, ugh, there goes my alone time watching Hulu. He was excited to just get to bed early, maybe maybe pump the Palmer, who knows? Maybe, hit his bong on top of his little jong, whatever he was going to do. And then he's like, I got to go to the clock tower. I got to put my elastic jeans back on. Oh, boy, what a pain. And then he shows up, and it's Susie, and she is the secret midnight admirer, which is kind of cute, Susie says there's a lot to work out, but I do feel like I'm falling in love with you. My fiance Tasha's watching this, and she's like, this feels like when you negotiate with the producers, like, I didn't get enough time on the group date. And they're like, well, if you tell Clayton that you're falling in love with him, we'll let you do it at the clock tower. And she's like, the clock tower? And they're like, the clock tower. And she's like, I get to say it at the clock tower? They're like, the clock tower. She's like, the clock tower? How many times is Dave going to say clock tower? Probably 3 more times. Clock tower, clock tower, clock tower. Susie says there's a lot to work out, but I feel like I'm falling in love with you, Clayton, and it's just the time for love at the clock tower. All right, folks. Clayton has convo with Jesse Palmer. We don't write these things down. He says, you sound like you need answers. Trust in yourself. And Clayton's like, yeah, I need answers. None of this Mr. Miyagi BS. That's what I'm coming to you for. Give me answers. And Jesse's like, it sounds like you need to find the answers. And he's like, yeah, I'm not getting those. I'm at a clock tower. Clayton starts his one-on-one date with Sarah, the youngest in the house. He tells Sarah he heard she wasn't mature enough to get engaged by the end of the season. I'd argue that a mature woman would decide not to rush into things. I think the most mature thing you can do is say, you know what, I'll date you, but I don't feel like we need to rush into marriage. That's maturity in my book. He's like, I need someone mature who blindly runs into a wall. That's the maturity I'm looking for. Sarah immediately gets emotional because, and by the way, there it is, Sarah getting emotional. She immediately gets emotional because she's 23 and it sucks being mischaracterized. I have nothing to gain from lying to you, she says. They do the thing where Clayton steps away for a moment after Sarah spills her heart out. Classic maneuver to get some reaction shots out of her. Sarah felt like she had her character attacked, calls it a weak, bitch-ass move. That was fun. She went from like sad to angry. She's like, I'm so sad. I will destroy the person. Meet me at the clock tower at high noon. I'm going to beat your ass. I've still got my leather-clad, night outfit here, and I'm going to swing some foam swords in your direction. The truth prevailed. Love a scorned Bachelor contestant, and we have a to be continued. All right, folks, we'll pick it up for you next week there. We've got plenty of content coming your way today, including what Shanae said after her time's out on The Bachelor and plenty of other things. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and check out the new channel, The Dave Neal Show. I've got Olympic content. I've got other stories, political, social, entertainment. You can go to The Dave Neal Show to get a daily video, at least one, sometimes more, for non-Bachelor related content. I appreciate everyone stopping by over there, and we'll see you guys all in a little bit. 9 a.m. we're going to be doing the Patreon live stream, so check on over there to watch the Patreon. You can watch it afterwards if you come late. All right, folks, we'll see you at the clock tower. Bye now.